So we're gonna go in here and get this appointment taken care of. How you guys doing?
Hey, good. How are you? Good morning.
Fantastic, fantastic. I got an appointment with Alderman Gilbert Villegas at 1:30.
Yeah, he's actually not able to make it today. I spoke with you already and let you know that. So.
Yeah. Well, you said you called me about 20 minutes before an appointment I've had for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Is there a reason you're filming?
'Cause I like to.
Okay. Well, I don't feel comfortable being on film. So.
Okay. Well, this is a public taxpayer building, so the Supreme Court has upheld that I have a right to film my public servants in the course of their duty.
Okay.
If you don't like that, you could call Clarence Thomas, Anton Scalia, people of that nature.
Okay.
But so when can I get my appointment?
I don't feel comfortable talking to you in this fashion. So.
Really? Why don't you feel comfortable? You don't like talking to the people?
Well, you wouldn't give me any information over the phone.
I smoke dope with the riders. Go slide when we ride up. Stay inside or get fired up. To live and die in Chicago.
Green light, it's a go, go, go. I keep my camera close, close, close. That's how we ride in Chicago. They say you can audit anywhere if you audit it in Chicago. I'm feeling it, guys. I'm feeling it in my bones. That's right. Now, I'd like to get something straight. I do not audit. That's not what I do. I have a camera. I hold it up to the world. You show them who you are. I cannot make them say or do anything they don't want to do. This is a mirror. I hold it up. You show me who they are. But watch what the home ec teacher and the guy that handed out the lunches and the 12-year-old boy going sledding stopped me from. What I didn't see was in the background. This was in the background the whole time. Look. Oh my God. You heard the face that launched 1,000 ships. Helena Troy, one side stole it from the other and it started a big war. Oh, that is the most beautiful, stunning, absolutely stunning. And all I can see is her eyes. That she is and she can't stop looking at me. Look at her. She's not moving a bit. She's frozen. This is a static picture. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, let's put it back in real time. Maybe that was my mistake. Oh no, she's still looking at me. Oh, she's all at Reagan. Oh, she loves President Reagan, the tyrant slayer. Look at her. Can't keep her eyes off me. There's literally 2 overturned cars with balls of fire falling out of them. She cannot keep her eyes off Reagan. Wait, but had to come back. She could not keep her eyes off me. I could have met her. Oh, she's straining her neck to see me. She's straining her neck. Get your camera out of my face, for heaven's sakes. Oh my God, look what they cost me. Look what these men cost me. She was trying her hardest to get my attention. Oh, I got the 12-year-old boy going sledding. Here he is. He looks like he walked out of his house and his mom said, "Oh no, it's going to be cold out tonight. You got to dress warm." So, yeah. They stopped me from all that. She literally trying to get my attention, trying to get me to make the first move, talk to her or something. So there, look at him, the egg. He stopped me. If he had a fishing pole in his left hand, he'd be the number 10. So the number 10 stopped me from meeting a 10. A 10 who was breaking her neck to see me, President Reagan, the tyrant hunter. So this rock block was brought to you by the number 10. Just replace the letter R with the letter C there. This rock block was sponsored by the number 10. Thank you, number 10. So we're going to pick up where we left off. The last video, I was walking behind security and telling them it wasn't safe in the hallway. They better go back in their office. And then I turn around, and do you think I leave? No. I go to the 4th floor. And stay there, because it's not safe in the hallway here. You understand me? Thank you very much. Both of you go back there. How you doing, ma'am? You give out the permits for the special events?
We do. I think it might be online now, though. But
Let me show you what happened with December 5th.
Let me get someone who can help you, because
Okay,
I don't know anything
okay.
about it. Hang on.
Just don't let it be Kwame.
Well, no, his office isn't even up here.
Okay.
Actually, we don't. This department does the special events, not the film. The film department does the film.
Well, I went down there. She's trying to send me back downstairs to the 1st floor. She's trying to send me back to the film office. She's trying to send me back to Kwame. Can you imagine? I really honestly should have just, oh, I'm sorry, okay. Walked out, get back on the elevator, open the door, and no, they sent me back down here to you.
Said it was a fourth floor, to come up to the fourth floor and see if I could talk to somebody in the media department.
Solomon will be up momentarily.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. So generally on, so this is a notice that came out in my neighborhood. On December 13th, Chicago Fire filmed in my neighborhood.
Okay.
And, well, let me show you what happened. It's, they went online, there's a video online, it's about 100,000 views in a week. And Alderman Villegas sent me down here.
Okay.
You can hold it. So that generally, he threatened me with arrest. He threatened everybody else with arrest, and he told them we had to go inside our own house so Chicago Fire could get the best shot. Is that generally the way things work?
I'm not familiar. You said you'd already been to the film office because this is.
I had been to the film office. They told me I had to come up here to make a media request to
Are
do.
you looking to do a FOIA request?
Well, yeah, I got the FOIA. Could you get the FOIA request
Yeah.
for? Okay, yeah.
So you
If,
just want to make a FOIA request?
yeah, if I could do a FOIA request right here, yes.
Let me print out the form and you can. fill
Thank
it
you
out.
so much, ma'am.
I'll be right back.
Oh, you know what? You are a peach. You are a lot nicer than them down there. I like you. What's your name?
My name is
Chris.
Now we're talking turkey. That's how a public servant should act. She listened to my problems intently. She looked me in my eyes. She asked me what my problem was, and she tried to find a solution for it. They're not always going to be able to find a solution for it. They're bound by the regulations and rules in which our government runs by, right? But she cares, right? She cares. There's no eye rolling, there's no huffing and puffing, there's no pulling out their cell phone and recording me, there's no calling security, there's no making a mountain out of a molehill. You are a public servant, and I don't say that to demean. It's just what it is. There's a private sector and the public sector. You are a public servant. Your whole job revolves around servicing the public. So we as a people, whether it be 250 years ago or yesterday, we came together, we pooled our money together, and we created a government because there are some basic fundamental needs we need as a people. Water, education, schooling, police department, right? And we pooled our money together and we built structures. This is a school where our kids will be taught. This is a police station. And then we sent teachers out to be trained in the most advanced forms of math, science, whatever it is, so they can come back and teach our kids. And then we sent police officers out so they can come back and teach other police officers. We got the most highest grade technology as far as cameras and computers. And we paid for all that. Then we elected officials to vote on the issues on our behalf. Now, the difference between a republic and a democracy is a democracy, the people vote directly on the issues. In a republic, we vote on representatives, then they vote on the issues. So we are more of a republic than we are a democracy. It goes deeper than that, but we are a hybrid of both. We are a republicocracy, but we are more of a republic than a democracy. So Chris here is doing a fantastic job. Thumbs up to Chris. Talk about night and day. Now, I really do go in there and I let them lead. Listen, my camera is a mirror to the world. I hold it up. You show them who you are. I can't make you do or say anything you don't want to do. You came off and said exactly what you said. So it is what it is. My camera is just a mirror. I hold it up. You show the world who you are.
The people like Chris too. See, look at that. Now look at the film office who went absolutely crazy because a camera went in there. And they're the film office. How much easier it would have been. He tried to get me to go online when all I needed to do was go upstairs and get a FOIA request. And I asked for a FOIA request about 30 seconds in. Like, the people are going to love you.
So this is.
Because generally everyone else has tried to sidestep the issue. And, you know, I understand none of those people were there.
Well,
so why not just give me the information I needed?
So that's me.
Yeah. Oh, Christine here. I appreciate that.
I'm the department's FOIA officer, and you can follow up with any emails to that.
So besides the permit, I also got the code of conduct as far as these production companies, film crews, how I'm supposed to act in public. The film production crews are considered to be guests in the communities where they work and shall treat the residents of those communities with respect and civility. It is the responsibility of the producers to ensure the cast and crew be made aware of the policy and comply with its guidelines. Last thing you want to do is disrespect the public, especially when a man knows his rights. Notification when filming in a residential neighborhood or business districts. Proper advance notification is to be provided to residents, business owners, and or building managers impacted by production activity. This notice leaflet shall include production company name, project title, duration, parking and traffic, special conditions, contacts, and phone numbers. They were good with all that. Production vehicles shall not block fire hydrants, bus stops, crosswalks. Block the crosswalk. Or handicap parking spaces. Loading zones are restricted to parking. Now listen to this. The temporary halting of pedestrian foot traffic must be courteous and reasonably brief. Public access to businesses, buildings, and residents must be maintained. That quick stop was open. You want to know why I was open? Because I went in there and interviewed him. You think I could have got in there? I couldn't even walk down the sidewalk. Do you think they closed that to foot traffic that was brief? No. Forget about closing that sidewalk to foot traffic. They closed down the whole residential block. Oh, brother. You guys done messed up now. So per this, they're only allowed to temporarily halt pedestrian foot traffic. They're only allowed to halt pedestrian foot traffic for a reasonably brief amount of time, and they're to be courteous about it as they're in our neighborhood, on our block. But I got somebody's shop teacher all up in my face, pushing me and following me. You're out your mind. You're in my neighborhood. I'm here all the time. I know you're not here all the time because I'm here every weekend. Now wait till you hear this and see what I show you. Production noise levels should be kept to a minimum. Crew shall refrain from the use of lewd or improper language.
Hold on, lady. You're on the same page because you just definitely I saw you really came in and fucked things up.
Oh yeah, somebody definitely screwed things up, we'll say, but it wasn't, it was you. It was you. Understand this, you're a guest in our neighborhood, on our block, where our kids are at. So take a look at this video, the scene. This is all family. These are all kids. Who else is going to want to watch Chicago, a filming of a sitcom? I mean, it really is a puff of smoke for 10 seconds and then people standing around for 4 hours. You might think it's exciting. It's anything but. Watching paint dry might be more exciting. Crew shall wear protection badges when required and be prepared to provide identification, permits, and location agreements when requested. Familiarize yourself with the neighborhood. Kwame, familiarize yourself with the neighborhood. You put Mobile instead of Mobile. You didn't even know the name of the street. Giving special consideration to school, hospitals, daycare centers, places of worship, and disorderly product news. Recognizing that production can be demanding enterprise troubled by budget and schedule concerns, we request that you be fair, honest, and reasonable when dealing with the community. Don't ask them to go inside their house at 6 o'clock so you can get the best shot, because you have a Chicago Fire show, so you're making a fake emergency in which everyone has to go inside their house because you have a fake emergency going on. They actually put simulated fire in, I'll show it to you. Please share this information with your crew and help us create a positive experience for everyone. Thank you. Whose name is that at the bottom? That looks like Kwame. And Kwame didn't understand why I was there. Go to the Chicago Police Department. It's the Chicago Police Department's fault. Everything in here is written by Kwame. Is to be upheld by Kwame. Are you kidding me? Talk about passing the buck. Be honest. He's a snake in the grass. To say the Chicago Police Department has an apparatus, go deal with them, throwing Sergeant O'Connor underneath the bus. Sergeant O'Connor underneath the bus. There's an apparatus for disciplinary problems within the Chicago Police Department. It's a COPA complaint, Civilian Office of Police Accountability. They take it, and if it's illegal or constitutional right matter, then they keep it. If not, they send it to IA, which is the 5th floor at 3510 South Michigan. So how dare Kwame try to put this on Sergeant O'Connor when he was the only one there protecting you? Trying to keep your, when you're playing fast and loose with the rules so you can make money for the Chicago Film Office. So at the end of the year, you could say, oh, look at me here, look what I did. I got all this. No, you screwed over a lot of people, Kwame. You didn't stick to anything you wrote in here. And then you try to blame it on everyone else. You are a snake. I wouldn't trust Kwame as far as I can throw him. And that other video that I cut to, that was in 819, Kwame just took over too. So a lot of that problems are happening underneath Kwame's watch. My God. Now let's get on to this. Watch this. This is an interview Kwame did with, I want to say it was Reels Chicago or some kind of magazine for the movie industry in Chicago. And this is what Kwame says. When you're in the business, all you want to do is what you want to do. You don't necessarily think about the effect that you have. What he made me, and when he's talking about that, he's talking about the man who was formerly in his place for the Chicago Film Office, who turned out, who took a job as being the head of the Illinois Film Office. You don't necessarily think about the effect that you have. What he made me understand is the city is a living organism. The streets, when we do things that cause heart attacks, it's for us to fix that. Yes, Kwame, it's for you to fix that, not to pass the buck and go, oh, the Chicago Police Officer, they have an apparatus, make a complaint against him. It helped me understand. Well, you haven't figured it out still yet, Kwame, so don't pretend like you understand how we have to come to a happy medium where production companies get what they want and need, but then also people can get up and go to work on time. We're not causing disruption. Really, you're not causing disruption. And we're not putting a bad taste in people's mouths. Oh, really, Kwame? About the experience. He taught me that. You didn't learn it, Kwame. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do to maintain the balance so the city can grow. But at the same time, not too fast for residents and businesses. Okay, Kwame. Now, this wasn't Kwame. This was the guy that wrote the article, I believe. He says, the diverse looks aren't there in Canadian cities. Because Kwame in the article said, Canada is a terrible place to shoot movies. Or film shows or anything. The diverse looks aren't there in the Canadian cities. A production designer and a cinematographer, a series like, let's just pick one out of the hat so it's at random. A series like Chicago Fire can impulsively say, let's point the camera over there. That's still a Chicago look. Whereas you can't whimsically do that in foreign locations. No kidding. You can turn the camera anywhere you want and it still look like Chicago in Chicago Fire because you're in Chicago. Oh my God, talk about a fluff piece, self-absorbed, just rubbing each other and just, giving each other happy endings. This is a joke. Kwame is just a snake in the grass. When I sat home and I watched that interview and he said the CPD has an apparatus to, just throwing Sergeant O'Connor, who was the only one there who was trying to put your mess in order. You put the production there. You signed off on that on a residential block. You. And then you didn't have the heart, you didn't have the nerve to stand up and say it on camera. You tried to snake and squeeze and get every way out of it. If I was the Fraternal Order of Police, I would not get on another film set until they replace Kwame. I would not get on another one. He is a snake. How dare he? Everyone in that office, how many times did they say, your problems with the Chicago Police, your problems with the Chicago Police, your problems with the Chicago Police. But when you read this, This is everything that you're supposed to be doing. This is everything you're in charge of. What a snake. What an absolute snake. I would never in my life fill out a COPA complaint against Sergeant O'Connor because of what happened. Was it a misunderstanding? Did Sergeant O'Connor say things he probably shouldn't have said? Yes. Did he get in over a head? We're all emotional people. I understand that. Any one of us, if we had a job as a police officer and they offered us this opportunity, we would take it. But it wasn't Sergeant O'Connor who decided that place to be there. It was just his mess to clean up and try and keep in control. How dare you? How dare you try and do that to another man? Throw him underneath the bus, and every one of you in that film off, you're a bunch of snakes. And look at this guy. I want you guys to look at this guy. Look at him. He's like playing a game of charades. Like, this is how you would try and act with your body language, is you were trying to look like a director. If it was weird, this is charades, and the word is director. And now, look, he's sucking on the arm of his glasses. Like, yeah, you ever have a friend that smoked a little bit too much of the wacky tobacco in high school, and then one time he just never came back? He only came like halfway back. So he's like kind of like not all there. Either that or his mom was giving him a bath when he was little and the phone rang. Like when you're talking to him, his mouth is open and he's just kind of like staring at you. Like, I think this guy got a role in the school play, and like he only came halfway back. He still thinks he's that person. Like, he's made up this whole, like, not real, like he's just acting. He's just acting. It's not real. Like, he's put on this persona. Because acting is just playing make-believe. He's decided he's Truman Capote. And he just, he practiced the mannerisms, and it's just, I mean, it's insanity, really, honestly, if you want it. I mean, it really is a form of insanity. So, whatever. And he also, if you listen, I'm backed into a corner. I'm surrounded by 8 or 9 people. I am in the tiniest little corner, if you see. And Kwame says, the police. And he says, after Kwame starts saying police, he goes, yeah, police. So not only do I got to deal with one person, I got to deal with another person. Like, and don't get me wrong. All 8 of you, all 9 of you, I'm running circles around. I'm making Kwame say things, or if you want me to say it on the record, I'm not going too late, Kwame. We're running a race. I'm passing you. Not only did I pass you, I'm on my 2nd time passing you. I'm way ahead of you. I'm 10 seconds ahead of you. You're 10 seconds behind me. It's not that I'm talking too fast. You're listening too slow. This is more like a paperwork. This episode 5 here. But this permit's important. It's important to understand how we got here. It's important to understand the relationship we have with the city or any other city you're in. Who's really in control? How we got to this point, and what a public servant does. What their job is. So I actually went into my neighborhood. How me and Kwame Kwame called me is I went to my neighborhood politician's office. They're called aldermen in Chicago. But they take care of all your requests, supposedly, as they say online. Come in, we'll take care of all your requests. We'll do our hardest to work. That's them in the beginning. They kicked me out. Oh, they tried to kick me out, but they couldn't do it because it's a publicly funded building, and I know my rights. Anyways, so yeah, what happened was I made an appointment with the alderman to talk to alderman myself. And about 3 minutes later, they called me back. And they said, oh, we're going to have somebody from the film office call you. Is that all right? I'm like, yeah, good. I get to talk to 2 people. They're like, oh, the alderman, They were trying to get out of my appointment with the alderman. And they're like, well, I got an appointment. I said, I got an appointment January 6th at 1:30. Oh, it's like, he doesn't have a lot of time. He's not going to. I'm like, that's all right. He might only have 15 minutes. 1:30 to 1:45, etched in stone. You got it. I thought I was going to get 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Fantastic. And you could just hear the air go out of their lungs. And they're just like, oh, son of a... So I never believed they were ever going to let me see the alderman. Like, I knew that was never going to happen, right? If they were smart, they would have, because the alderman could have I could have put it on a T form there, hit it out the park, save the situation, stick up for the people. But they chose not to do that. So about 10 minutes before, well, I'll save that to the next video, but they canceled the appointment
10 minutes before I get there. After I took off work, I drove my friends whose cars got stolen, and I had to leave them there before they're at the impound, all the way about 45 minutes away from our house. And I came back over here, and they called me when I was about 10 minutes away, said it was canceled. And I had it for 2 weeks. Either way, let's look at this. That's the next video. It's unbelievable. It's just about as it's up there with the film video, the film office video. Okay, so this looks like it's Open for Business Productions LLC, Limited Liability Corporation, PO Box 900, Beverly Hills, Illinois 90213, 90210. I thought it might be Big Beverly Hills. USA Ashley Cooper. Please do not call Ashley Cooper, dude. She has nothing to do with this. Please do not call Ashley Cooper. I mean, she has something to do with it, but don't call Ashley Cooper, guys, please. So if you look there, it's the wards are the 30th and the 36th. That was the 36th ward I was in the beginning of the video. 8104 Exit Strip Mall. So the start time was at 11 a.m. on the 13th, and it started on 7 a.m. the 14th. Vehicular traffic is going to be interrupted on Mulligan. That was the actual street we were on, that they were shooting on, so that's closed. And then the Mulligan street closure. Mobile. They actually spelled Mobile. They actually learned the name of the street, so yeah. Definitely don't call Ashley Cooper. She knew what she was doing. Mobile, that's the name of the street. Mobile. Both sides of Narragansett to Merrimack. So looks like there was 3 streets, Mulligan, Merrimack, and Mobile, that were affected. Subcontractors. There are no subcontractors. Admission attendance fees are prohibited. I would hope so. You know, make me pay to get on my own block. Voluntary donations are permissible. Oh, Chicago Fire started passing around the Chicago Fire hat. I would have lost it then. All work shall be in accordance with CDOT, that's Department of Transportation, Chicago Department of Transportation, rules and regulations for construction of the public way, and the City of Chicago Municipal Code. Ooh, if I really want to get into this, I'd pull the municipal code and make sure every I was dotted and every T was crossed. Work to be performed as per plans and specifications. All traffic control will be responsibility of the contractor and must comply with CDOT and MUTC. I don't know what that is. Barricades and detour signs must be provided by permittee. Maintain fire lane at all times. Contractor, subcontractor. So basically what I wanted to show you guys is like you can pull these anytime. This is yours. The public way is yours. Kwame says, you are not the owner of the public way, the taxpayer. Well, but guess what, Kwame? I'm a taxpayer. Believe it or not, I'm a taxpayer. And that's one thing that happens at the local politician's office, at the alderman's office, the thing that you saw that's going to be in part 6. They're going to accuse me of not being a taxpayer and not being a resident. It was just ridiculous. Like, I knew they weren't going to let me see the alderman. And so when he called me, I said, oh, okay, I'll be there. And he says, oh, well, he can't see you today. And it was like, literally, I had it for 2 weeks, and about 10 minutes after I rushed around, stopped work and didn't go to work and all this, and he calls me right before then. And I said, oh, we'll talk about it in person. And I still went there with the camera. That's when I walked in and said, I got an appointment today. He goes, oh, I called you. Yeah, you called me, but now you're going to have to talk about it on camera. So, yeah, let me show you something else. So if you look here, it said, this is the email that was sent out. It was made by the production company. Then it was proofread by Willie Harris. As I showed you in the last video, he was making 110,000, 12,000, 15, 17, whatever it was. And he couldn't proofread the actual email that went out, even though it's his responsibility. As was told by the film office itself, as they threw everybody into the bus, even though their own employees that just weren't in the office at that time. It says artificial fire. Well, they were only using artificial fire. That wasn't real fire. That was only artificial fire. Okay. Anyway, so just let you know, if things happen in your neighborhood, you have a right. People are powerful. We are the people. We elected these people. We set up this government to fulfill our needs. So I think it's important that everybody understands the role of government in our lives. And I think it was just important to put this out there to show that you can pull the paperwork. Of course you can pull the paperwork. It's yours. All this is yours. And the fact that I would never make a COPA complaint against Officer O'Connor. That's ridiculous. That could really hurt somebody's career. Just over that. I mean, if you watch the video again, somebody asked Sergeant O'Connor a question, and he innately goes, "Beg your pardon?" You know who else does that? Me. You know why I do that? Because my grandma instilled it in me. I say please and thank you without thinking, and I say beg your pardon when I don't understand somebody. And I do it innately because my grandma instilled good manners in me. I was raised right. So I definitely do not think that Sergeant O'Connor is a bad guy. I think he was put in a bad position. He was trying to juggle a million people at once, if you saw all those people. And he made a mistake. He said something he shouldn't have said. And that's it. And that's as far as it went. I don't not dislike Sergeant O'Connor. It's nothing personal. It was just what it was at that time. But for Kwame to throw out there, there's an apparatus, you can make a complaint. No, I don't want to make a complaint. I'm talking to you. And as it turns out, as we've seen through all this paperwork, it was actually you that was in charge of all this. You signed off on that. Look at the code of conduct. It's you, Kwame. Stop putting the pack in the buck on somebody else. All you have to do is stand out there and be honest. People understand honesty. They respect honesty. But if you look here, this is all done for the princely sum of $500. Well, I got $500. I'm renting out a block. All right, I might rent out 2 or 3 blocks. Hey, we'll have a DPN party. Nobody can tell us what to do. Everyone's got to go inside or they're getting arrested. And in all honesty, nobody got arrested. Nothing happened. What happened was the people just milled out. The regular people just milled out and left. And I was standing on the block all alone, and nobody said another thing to me. It was very anticlimactic. Nobody got arrested. Nothing happened. Everybody just left. The regular people just left and went inside their houses or did whatever they did, and nobody said anything to anybody else ever again. And I was just standing there with my camera. So it was very anticlimactic, which I knew would happen. I mean, no, he just said something in the heat of saying something. And that's all it was. I knew I was never going to get arrested. I knew no one was going to get arrested. We're not doing anything. We're standing on our street. What do you mean I'm going to get arrested? So, that's what it was. Anyways, I just wanted to show you guys this is the paperwork section to show you how to pull FOIA requests. You can FOIA request anything pretty much. People call me all the time. I have these 5 or 6 subscribers that either email me or text me within a week asking me questions, or other auditors asking me questions, how to do this, how to do that, about their court cases, this and that. So my email is Constitutional Kevlar. If you guys got videos that you want seen, or you get questions about your YouTube channel, I am more than happy to assist you. So in the next episode of the Looking for Answers series, the Chicago fire incident, we will get back to the controversy, the get the hell out of here. What are you doing? I don't want you here. Get that camera out of here. All that, all the regular political mumbo jumbo on the website. We're here to help you, advocate for you. Come in, any of your problems we want. Then you come in and, I don't want you, get out of here. Yep, we got one of those coming back up. But I just want to show this to kind of, put everything into perspective. Attending a City Hall meeting. I'm going to go to City Hall. Get an audience with the mayor, Mayor Lori Lightfoot. So, that's what's coming up. Lots of stuff coming up on DPN. I want you guys to have a happy and healthy, safe Sunday. And I will talk to you soon. I will be back soon. Good night. What's up, buddy? What happened with Chicago Fire? Was the Chicago Fire here the other day?
Yeah. They're done.
And what did they do? They
took the video.
Because I came here, I wanted to get something, but you were closed. Oh, they paid you to close down?
There's nothing in there. It's empty hall.
I'm sorry?
It's an empty spot.
Oh, I know, but they were all in here, so they couldn't get into your building. You were open You were open the whole time? Mm-hmm. Even when the fire was going?
Mm-hmm.
So I could have said, so.
You gotta walk in, but they're private security won't let you.
No, yeah, I tried to. So you were still open now. They didn't pay you anything?
Yeah, why?
By shutting down your business?
Of course they did.
Oh, I want to make sure they did, because I felt like you deserved something. I didn't want the city to get something. I feel like the business owners, the small business owners.
Get something. Everybody gets something.
Well, the neighbor.